What is up, guys? It is the AR gang here.
This is actually going to be a voiceover of our gameplay. Let's get started talking about this game. So first thing, the game itself looks amazing.
Looks and plays amazing, honestly.
Yeah, like, we haven't had much issues with lag or anything. We have heard a couple people complain about it, but that could just be because of their
That could be
internet.
that could be of their internet because I have never had a problem with it.
Yeah, for
Like,
us,
I've had that one person that I could have swore had a lag switch because I wasn't lagging and all of a sudden he was there. And then the lag was gone.
yeah. But yeah, it runs very smooth for us. The graphics look amazing. I like how they made it a little more realistic looking than each game. They keep getting better and better at that. Obviously there's some slight improvements that they can do.
The one big thing that we both can agree on that they need to fix is the throwing of the grenades.
Yeah, so for us, the throwing of the grenade, it just takes a little too long. I understand that realism, oh, you gotta take the pin out and then throw it, but there's only so much realism you can have in a game before people start complaining.
And see, that doesn't personally bother me. Like, yes, it does feel like it takes too long sometimes. Mine is the more recovery of the grenade. So someone throws a grenade at you and then you have to pick it up and throw it back. You have to double click right bump. I do not like that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of that part, of having to double click. I'm just so used to previous CODs where it's you just click the button to throw it back and you pick it up and it throws it. Like that's it.
I don't think I've ever played a game to where you had to double click it.
Nope. I know I have not. But continuing on, the beta came with 4 regular maps for multiplayer, and then 2 maps for Ground War. But Austin and I don't play Ground War, we only play regular multiplayer, so we'll be discussing the 4 maps that we actually played on. So on this
one that I can't stand.
on this first section of the video, you'll see Austin playing on Miami. Simple town. It kind of sticks to the usual 3-path thing that Call of Duty has grown to love for their maps. Whether their fan base loves it or not, that's what Call of Duty sticks with. It's a simple, easy way of making a map. So you have one edge of the map where it's on the beach, you have a boat, you have some buildings there, but it's still a simple pathway. The middle path is straight up in the middle of the town. Some cars in the way, but still pretty straight path, straight up the middle. And you have the far left, which is more of alleyways, and there's a little
door, maybe?
Yeah,
bar?
There's a little bar area, and it also has its own like water area over there that you can slightly get into. And for me, it's my second favorite map out of the ones in the beta. And then we'll discuss our favorites at the end of just discussing maps. What we've noticed a lot about Miami is a lot of people go up into one of these buildings, and they go up to the second floor and just camp. As you can see in this best play video, they just camp up in the second floor and shoot down onto the town. It's probably the best area to scout from.
It's one of the best. I honestly like the building across from the hotel. That technically would be how you were explaining it, is on the right side, so near the beach, towards the back end. It has like you walk in, you go up the steps, and it's that little tiny area.
Mm-hmm.
I like that place a lot more just because of the fact that you can see the hotel, you can see to your left and the center of the map. You can also see almost across to a spawning point to the right side of the right side of the near the hotel, which I've gotten a lot of kills from that area.
Alright. What else about Miami?
Um, Other than the fact that it's a very, to me, this map kind of reminds me of like a Nuketown, like its own personal. Like, obviously, it's not a Nuketown, but it's small, very fast paced. Like, yes, you'll get those people that end up just sitting in buildings and it becomes like a camping battle. But majority of the time that I've played this map, it's always fast paced compared to the other maps that we will get into.
Yeah. For me, Miami has always it is close quarters for the most part, so you can run and gun with your SMG. It has your scouting areas for snipers and your assault rifles. There's tight buildings that allow you to use shotguns. So overall, it's a map that allows you to utilize all of the weapons that they're providing you. So for me, it's a decent map. Like I said, second favorite map. But the
Yeah,
second map,
it has a very good. It's very good for assault rifles and shotguns to me. Like it, majority of what I use on this map. At first, I use which we'll get into guns later on, but M16 and the shotgun from your starter, obviously, and then now getting into it, I like to use my Krig, which is kind of like a Galil, and a shotgun because it's very fast paced, and if you run out of ammo with that, you can switch to your shotgun real quick, which I know for a fact it'll get nerfed, but we'll go over that later. But the second map,
the second map we are going to be discussing is Satellite. So
and that is the dunes, correct?
yes, it's the dunes that has. You got your dunes over on your left, and you have your like mountain. Well, not mountains, but hills and stuff on your right, or giant rocks in the way of everything. But just like Miami, it follows the Call of Duty main 3-lane map layout. You got your left side, well, you got one side, you have your dunes where people can, or usually sit and snipe from. You have your right side of the map where people are more close quarters, around corners, you're using your shotguns and all that. And you have your center that's more open. It has the airplane I think it's an airplane, that's laid out in the middle of the wreckage, and it's different leveled, so there's an upper and lower part in the middle. Usually people will camp on the upper part and aim down, but a lot of the times on this map I'll see people camping, just all the action will be on the left side or the right side. I don't really see a lot of action in the middle.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about that map is the fact that there's a lot of camping involved. Like, you'll get the people that really just want to get in there and fight, but you also have a lot of people that will just take their snipers and go on that dunes side and just snipe and camp.
Yes. This is my favorite map out of the beta so far. But I usually run either the M16 from distance or the Krig on this map. But a lot of people do use the snipers over on the dunes. So once again, this is a map that allows you to use every weapon that the game allows you to have currently in the beta. You get the right side for shotguns and subs. You got the left side for snipers and ARs. I haven't really seen anyone use launchers in any of the maps. Have you seen anyone use a launcher?
The first day that I played, like the release day, there was someone using the one of the launchers, but other than that one person, I have not seen anyone else use it.
So excluding launchers, because launchers aren't that popular right now. This map allows you to utilize all the weapons. It has areas for everything. It's easy cover, fast pace usually, unless you get in a lobby full of snipers, obviously. Then it's a bit slower paced. It also depends on the game mode on here. I feel like every game mode that I've played on Satellite, from hardpoint to domination to team deathmatch, it has been a fun gameplay rather than. That was the major issue with Miami, is there are some game modes that when you play on it, it's just it slows the game down, and it's not as fun and fast-paced as you would want. Which that's some people's game, and that's if that attracts you, that's what you like.
Yeah, because there are definitely a couple game modes. What was it? Hardpoint on Miami. That it's just Miami's not a good place for hardpoint.
Yeah.
Same for honestly, I have yet to play Capture on either one of them, but I'm not the biggest fan of Capture.
Yeah, Capture was just added in last night or yesterday.
Okay.
That was the update, the playlist update from yesterday.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of Capture.
And we'll go over the game modes at the end as well, right before we talk about the guns. Do you have anything else about Satellite?
No, honestly, it's a very just all-around great map. Like, I do kind of hope that they might add in a couple vehicles on the Dune side, just so it's not just an open, just camping death zone. Or do something with it to where there's not so many campers laying in the sand over there. That's probably why it's my second favorite, and Miami's probably my favorite, just because of the fact that you don't get, even if you do have a camper in Miami, there's a way to get around and kill them. There's no real good way to get around dunes if you have a sniper camping.
True, the only way to get around a sniper camping in dunes is to go straight at them.
Yeah, I hope they miss.
Yeah. So going on to the next map. The next map we have is Cartel. And once again, Cartel follows the same 3-lane layout as pretty much every Call of Duty map since Modern Warfare 3. I think Modern Warfare 3 was the last one that did not follow the three-lane layout in every single map. So on this map, you got a building on your left that most people go to. You have an open pathway in the middle, and you have a rocky roundabout on the right, or on the other side. What I see a lot about is a lot of people will use submachine guns going into the building on the left. Well, on the side. Can't use directions because.
See, I don't get a lot of sub deaths. I get a lot of LMGs. Like, I get destroyed because people would take those LMGs and just go in there holding the trigger. No aiming, no nothing. They just hold the trigger and hope for the best. In that the bunker hangar.
This isn't working. We're behind.
True.
We are in the lead.
To me, this map is not the best. I think it lacks excitement. It looks beautiful as a map. Looks amazing, just like all the other maps. But it's not a map that excites me to play on. it just looks like an average map. Looks like a map that you would play in any other game, Call of Duty. It doesn't have any unique features to it. It doesn't have a true like Cold War feel to
Yeah,
it.
the only thing that I like about Cartel, I do not like the map whatsoever. Like, yes, it's a beautiful map, but the idea of it was great. I just feel like it's very
Taking control.
chaotic. And if you want to be in that chaotic map, that's the one for you. But it's just, there's not a lot of, when you think of multiplayer war, you're thinking of, oh, corners that I can get around, sneak around. No, this is a straight, you have a building, you have grass, and it's open. The entire center, and if the,
Hostile spy plane established.
we'll go with the hangars on our right side. If you have the middle to the left, it is all just grass and open. And then you have your hangar, and that's it. You have your two back sides that have buildings in the way, but when you're in the center of the map, it's just open, which I don't personally like. Like this, to me, that would be a great map, which I don't know if they have this in here yet, or well, obviously they don't have it in here yet, but if it'll be an idea, is Capture the Flag. That would be a great map for Capture the Flag.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those maps just like Miami is for me. It depends all on the game mode. Depends on what type of gameplay you like versus what we like. We like fast paced, but we like controlled fast paced, which Miami and Satellite allows you to have. While Cartel, it's not a controlled fast pace that you have. You're going straight into action, and that you're in action the entire time. You're spawning in action. It's just there for you, straight ahead, and fight.
The only thing when I first saw Cartel was my instant, whoa, words are hard.
Enemy spy plane
Um,
inbound.
instant look at it was just like, wow. Because I'm a very campaign person, love campaigns. From the very first game that they made with a campaign, I just play them all the way through. I think of campaign when I saw Cartel. I was like, oh, they could do a lot with this in this campaign. So I'm thinking of, oh, this is going to be great. And then you get into the multiplayer map and then it's just terrible. But I'm hoping that, at least in the campaign, there's a point to it. Like you said, there's not a lot that's going on here. It's just kind of basic to all your other multiplayer maps that you've had in Call of Duties in the past. I'm hoping it has more of a meaning to it when it comes to the campaign, if it's in the campaign.
I believe that every map ends up in the campaign, whether it's just like flying over it or something. But I think every map is in the campaign, or has been in the campaign.
Yeah, that one's probably at the bottom of my list of maps right now.
I agree. Yeah, it's just not one of those that I can play over and over again. Like, there's certain maps I can play Miami over and over again. I can play Satellite all over again. I could play Nuketown or Shipment or even Firing Range. I can play those maps all over again. They have replayability. This map to me, it's just another map for me. It just doesn't excite me to play on.
Like, I love how much, like, it's beautiful. And when you see the grass and the houses and just everything in there, they put every little small detail into it, and it looks amazing. But at the same time, it also just looks like a basic map, like any game. No matter what game you played, any type of war multiplayer map you played, that would be in it.
Yeah, it doesn't call out, hey, this is a Call of Duty map. It calls out, hey, this is a shooter map.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we have our final multiplayer map. And that is Moscow. This
which
one's
honestly
really
is a good map. When I first played this map, it was an iffy for me, but I also got into a match with
Enemy destroyed.
a bunch of people. That was the match that I first found out that people were using the rocket launchers because this dude literally was just running around with an RPG.
yeah. It was the last map that you got to play on your recording.
So like
Hardpoint.
honestly, out of
Seize the objectives.
out of the 3 maps or 4 maps, my bad. Out of the 4 maps, that's probably one of my favorite for hardpoint and when you do have capture.
Yeah, I really liked it for capture.
Hardpoint. We've lost the hardpoint.
It brings a different uniqueness to the
We've
game.
lost the hardpoint.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the just the layout of the buildings, but other than the one side with all the cars, like it's actually the fun little
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
indoor arena type map.
Hostile RCXT in
Yeah.
AO.
So the map itself, once again, 3-lane layout.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
One far side is an alleyway that leads into the major building. The center is the major building, and the other outer ring
Hardpoint is
is
secure.
once again another alleyway. There's a fountain area over on that side as well. But everything kind of just leads into the major building. The major building has 2 floors. That has it has on one side of the building it has an escalator that goes up to the 2nd floor, while on the main floor there's staircases that lead out of the building on 3 sides, with the escalators on the 4th side.
Hardpoint locked down.
The side adjacent to the side with the escalator has a 2nd floor balcony type area that looks over the building, and that's where a lot of people, that's where the majority of the fight is happening, is that building. So it's a lot more of LMG and AR type gunfight rather than allowing for pistols or shotguns or submachine guns. It's usually AR and LMGs all day for that on that map.
Yeah.
But look wise, Moscow is my favorite, like visually, or second favorite. Miami's my favorite visually. Moscow just has that. It captures the 60s, 70s vibe to it.
Hardpoint contested.
Also the fact that when you go into Russia or even if you don't go there, you've never been there, you think Moscow, Russia, it definitely has that type of look to it. Like you wouldn't see these type of buildings and structures in America.
Hardpoint is secure.
That is definitely more of a Russian type build.
Hostile artillery
Yeah,
sights
and
engaged.
Which they did real good on.
It perfectly captures the location and the time period that it's supposed to, and it looks amazing. Like all the other maps, it has that appeal to it. Where it looks crisp, it looks clean, looks like it calls out, hey, this is a Call of Duty map, versus how
Cartel look.
yeah, Cartel just kind of was like, hey, I'm a shooting map. Moscow calls out, hey, I'm a Call of Duty map. And it just perfectly captures what it wants to capture. And the only thing that lacks for this map for me is the ability of spread out gameplay. Everything happens right in the middle of this, and that's about it.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of fighting going on anywhere on the outside, other than the fact that the 2 small buildings where it's the bar connected to the, I think it's another bar, or across from each other.
Hardpoint is secure.
There's a lot of snipers and stuff that go on right there,
Multiple
but I don't
hostile
think
spy
I've
planes
ever
detected.
truly gotten the big gunfight battles on the
Testing hardpoint.
um, what I would consider the right side of the map, where the escalators are and everything.
Alright. Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't really come
unless it's
across.
capture.
Yeah, I haven't really come across that many snipers.
Behind.
But if that's your experience,
Multiple
that's a
hardpoint
great
is secure.
experience. So that people know, hey, there can be snipers here.
Contesting hardpoint.
And this is a great spot if you're looking for a sniper spot to use a sniper in.
Hardpoint locked down.
Yeah, because it's definitely a more unique map, and I think that's why I liked it so much. I mean, my first experience on the map wasn't the best because I dealt with a lot of snipers and RPGs.
We've lost the
Plus, I
hardpoint.
didn't really know what was going on that map whatsoever. It was very fast paced, but once you get a couple plays in, you get to explore the map. I feel like this would be up there with a lot of people's votes for the map. While I don't see a lot of people voting for Cartel,
This isn't working. We're behind.
which I mean, I know some people that don't like Satellite. I personally, Satellite's probably my number. It's, if not, it's tied basically with Miami. Like, Miami's my first, but it's so close that they might as well both be up there.
Hardpoint lost.
And for me, I can perfectly separate the two.
Hardpoint locked down.
I prefer Satellite over Miami. Miami just, although it has replayability, it for me it depends on the game mode.
Yeah. See, there's just, and the big thing that I've noticed is why the difference on why we like the two separate maps is you are more of a kind of hang back and shoot with the M16 with the scope. And Satellite is a perfect map for that. While I'm a really like to
Hardpoint
take my sub and take my shotgun and just get close in battle.
True. Here are the official descriptions of the maps according to Activision. So we have Miami, which is set in a neon-soaked South Beach neighborhood where players will engage in nighttime battles in the streets, nearby buildings, and a beachfront. Expect long-range engagements outdoors and watch out for snipers in the windows.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Then we have Satellite. Satellite expect heated action in the arid and golden desert, littered with dune trenches and cavernous rock formations surrounding a fallen American KH-9 satellite. This map's open spaces and close quarter cater to all play
Hardpoint is
styles.
secure. We're in the lead.
Then we have
Hostile
Moscow.
artillery targets inactive.
Moscow is fighting takes place in and around an impressive marble adorned metro station. Stationary cars will provide cover on the streets, while nearby apartment buildings and hotels set the stage for both short and long range encounters.
The advantage.
And last but not least, we have Cartel. We built Cartel around the idea of an open middle, one that provides a very high risk versus reward incentive. We went all in on it, as the only main cover in the middle are coca plants. We wanted players to have the feeling that they could own this part of the map by utilizing the plants, weaving between them and really becoming a hunter. For players that find that too dangerous, it's all good. We also provided many ways to engage in the map. It's not that we threw the kitchen sink in terms of engagement, as we do want this map to feel unique when you play it, but we definitely built in enough room for variety and different player styles to flourish. So I understand what they were going for in Cartel. I don't think they accomplished what they wanted, though.
Yeah, and and this is the good thing about beta is they can change a lot before they release it.
Yeah, so
So
they...
who knows? They could have already changed it. They could have looked at people's comments, pros and cons about it, and work on it. And that's one big thing why I like, because this is the first beta I've actually played for Call of Duty. So I kind of like to see like, oh, okay, well, this is what they have. Now I want to see, because obviously they're not going to listen to just some small people. They're going to listen to like the higher up people, which I'm hoping they kind of have the same uh, comments as we do. But I'm actually looking forward to see what the full game is and see how much they actually change.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't change too much where it becomes a bad game. This game I have looked forwards to since my first match playing. It just looks amazing. It plays amazing. So I'm hoping that they don't change too much.
Honest, I don't want them to change a lot because, and we'll get into it more. There's a couple weapons that I guess they should work on, but I mean, other like looking at the game itself, it runs smooth even for a beta. The maps are good, or some of the maps are great. A couple of the maps they need a little tweaking on, but other than that, they're still good maps. So like for a beta, this game is really good. A lot. See, I put my expectations very low for it being a beta because I want it to be impressed. I didn't want to be disappointed if something wasn't the way I wanted it to. That's why the entire time I was playing this game, I was thinking, all right, this is a beta. This is a beta. Like, there's gonna be bugs. There's gonna be parts. Because they did add it in a swimming mechanic, which I did test out just a little bit, not a lot. Where it's in Miami, they have that pool in the back by the bar area. You do get in it, but you kind of get a little bit of lag when you get into it sometimes. Which I don't know if you've had that problem yet or not,
I
but
have not.
every once in a while when I get into the water, and it's only when I shoot out of the water, because you can get into the water and shoot while you're in the water, which I think is a cool mechanic, because that brings back from, what was it, Black Ops 4, when they had Battle Royale?
Yeah, Black Ops 4 was the first Call of Duty to have a battle royale.
Yeah, because they had the swimming and shooting mechanic in it,
Yes.
which was good. And they did this for this as well, but for me, when I shoot underwater, it kind of lags just a little bit. It's almost like a little rubber banding, but once again, it's a beta. They still got to work on stuff. They're not going to pull out the full game mechanics in it just yet.
Alright, so let's go into discussion on game modes. So right now in the beta, well, by the time y'all watch this, the beta will already be over for us on the Xbox. But the game modes we have been able to play have been Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Domination, Hardpoint, and Control. Out of those 5, which one do you believe will be your favorite when the actual game comes out?
I mean, I'm naturally, I just like kill confirmed in any game. Same along with Team Deathmatch. For these maps, I wasn't much of a hardpoint person before. Like, I played it, yeah, it was fun, but I wasn't much of a hardpoint person. I feel like the way they have hardpoint now is going to be a really fun way because they have just this big circle. It's not like your normal small little square that you have to defend. Like, I feel like they did a lot better with it. I haven't played enough capture yet to truly pay
confirmed.
attention to see what all going on.
The fate of the free world
Because
is
the
in your
last few
hands.
captures I've played is normally either in Cartel or Moscow, and I'm normally end up joining into the match, so I never have a true view of how it is. But my favorite is always going to be Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed, but new wise, it's probably going to be Hardpoint.
See, for me, I've never liked Kill Confirmed. I just don't like the aspect of having to go to the person I just killed, especially when sniping or something, and then having to collect their dog tag. It just that game mode just hasn't grown on me. Even into this Call of Duty, just hasn't grown.
Well, I also use mine as bait.
True.
I don't do Kill Confirmed like you're supposed to. I normally will kill someone out in the open or semi-open and use their dog tags as bait to get more kills and more dog tags.
We're pulling ahead.
Yeah, I Kill Confirmed just never grew on me. For me, I like how domination has turned into, instead of a small flag that you're capturing, it has turned into an area, which it makes it more difficult, but it also increases the speed of play
We're losing
of the
this
game.
fight.
It just it allows more for fights to happen because you're defending an entire area rather than just a tiny flag that you can just camp and watch. Now you have to
Yeah.
know your entire area and be able to defend it all. For me, Control, I also like Control, but I only like it on... I have only played it on Cartel or Moscow. And I really like it on Moscow. Not the biggest fan of Cartel. Cartel, it's easy for a team, the defending team, to hold down the bunker. I don't think I've lost a game when my team has defended on the
Yeah, I
fifth
haven't
round.
won or lost if whoever has it in that hangar, it's just an easy defend. Like you shouldn't be able to lose that.
Yeah. So if they can just control that, I would like Control more. For me, Hardpoint, I like that it's not like the previous Call of Duties that have had a Hardpoint where you can just go camp in a corner and you can defend that entire area from your corner, hiding and keeping it protected without being able to die. In this one, it's more of an open area hardpoints to where there is no corner you can hide in that they can't find you or whatever, like in previous Call of Duties. So I do like Hardpoint, but I would still stick with my favorite being Team Deathmatch.
Yeah, Team Deathmatch is always going to be my number one, no matter what. Especially when Hardcore comes out.
True, when
Because I am
Hardcore comes out.
Hardcore comes out. When Hardcore comes out is when people will start complaining about the weapons.
True. Well, I'm sorry, you cannot complain about weapons that are supposed to be one-shots anyways when they're in Hardcore.
Well, to me, and if you're one of those people and you get mad, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to get over it. But people that complain on Hardpoint about weapons being too overpowered, it's the point of hardcore, not hardpoint. Hardcore it's hardcore. It's more realistic. So if you get shot in the chest and you die one shot, you're gonna die in real life too if you get shot in the chest by a bullet. Like, unless you have a vest on, you're dying with one shot. Same with headshots. Like, hardcore is a lot more realistic than core. And some people that like to complain about it, I don't think they realize it, or they just don't care and they want to complain because they're just not good at it. It's something you got to get over. And honestly, one gun that I think will be extremely overpowered and hardcore is
Multiple
going to
hostile
be
spy
the
planes
M16.
detected.
Yeah, with the M16 being the 3-round burst that it is, if you can get all 3 bullets in, you'll no matter what, you'll one-shot people with your 3-round burst on
Yes.
hardcore.
Another gun would be on hardcore that would be super overpowered as well. Is Spaz 12.
For those that are playing, that is the Gallo SA-12 within the game.
Yeah. Excuse us for naming the guns of their proper name. We normally name the guns from their original name.
You do.
So,
I
like,
call them from the game.
yeah, you call them from that and the. There's one more gun. Which one is it? I like the name Krieg. Originally, I named it kept calling it the Glow, but I like Krieg. It's a fun name.
The
Yeah,
other one
like
that you kept
the
calling by the other one is the one that looks like the Uzi.
yeah, the Uzi, the Mileno 821. I'm constantly gonna call that the Uzi. Uzi's just fun to say. I'm gonna call a gun by the most fun name. Like Mileno, no. Uzi, yeah.
Alright, but now going into that, we will be talking about the guns. So for assault rifles, we have
The XM4. It is related to the M4A1. You have the AK-47. You have the Krieg 6. And you have the QBZ-83 for the assault rifles. Then you have your tactical rifles, which is a semi-auto Type 63. Then you have your normal 3-round burst M16. And we can go over to light machine guns. We got our Stoner 63, which I have not used a lot of the light machine guns yet, so I don't know exactly how they shoot. And then you have your RPD. So we only have 2 LMGs. Hopefully they add more in once the full game comes out. And then we got our subs. There's 4 subs so far in the beta. We got our MP5, which I think has been in pretty much every game. And every Black Ops anyways. We got our Mileno 821. We got our AK-74U. And we got our KSP-45. That is the only 3-round burst submachine gun as well. And then last but not least, we got our snipers, our Pillington 703 and our LW3 Tundra, which I have yet to use that one. I might have used it once.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people using the Tundra.
I don't think people use it just for the fact that the scoping on it is extremely slow. So you remember the ride tech off of Modern Warfare?
Yes.
It almost zooms in just as bad as that.
That's pretty slow.
Like, it's a little bit faster than that, but it's still slow compared to the what I call it, Billington.
Yeah.
Then we got our secondaries, which I'll start off with the shotguns, which I am honestly very happy that they put these in the secondary. I forgot which game was it that they last did that in.
I think
Modern Warfare
2. I know Modern Warfare 2 was the first game to do it. I don't know if any game since
I
then
can't remember if Modern Warfare 3 had it. It's been so long since I played that game. But we have 2 shotguns so far in beta. We got the Hauer 77.
Yeah,
I don't speak German. I was like, I don't speak German, so I don't know how to properly say that. Which kind of reminds me of the Remington. Then we have our Gallo SA-12, which I call the Spaz because that's what it is.
You did the work of a nation. Come on home.
And then we'll go over to our pistols. We got 3 pistols for our beta. Got the 1911. We got the Diamati, which I can't tell what gun that is. It kind of looks like what was it, the AX-50? Is that the starter pistol that we normally had in Warzone?
AX-15, AX-16, something, AX something. Or wait, no, X-16.
X-16. It kind of looks like, yeah. Okay. It kind of reminds me of that pistol. Just the looks of it. And then we got our Magnum, which I've shot it. Didn't hit the person with it because I was trying to snipe with it, but I honestly don't know how that gun shoots. I also haven't used the second one. The only one that I have used is the 1911, which is broken, but
Alright, so
well,
is that it? Or
no,
launchers?
we still have our launchers and of course your normal knife that you always have.
Yeah.
But we got our 2 launchers, we got the Sigma 2, and then we have our RPG-7. And that is all of the weapons so far, at least in beta, until the full game comes out.
Yeah, there are already rumored weapons that are supposed to be on launch day, like flamethrowers, and the grease gun is supposed to be back, and guns like that that are rumored to be in the game. But the stats for games this time are separated into 4 things. So we have firepower, speed, accuracy, and ammo. So the firepower is how much and how fast a weapon deals damage against enemies and vehicles. Speed is how much the weapon affects the operator's movement speed and ability to aim down sights. Accuracy is how much recoil the weapon has, as well as its stability and hipfire spread. And ammo is how large a weapon's magazine is and how fast an operator can reload it. So, out of all the weapons in the beta so far, which is your favorite?
Out of all the weapons, at first was the M16. Like overall, I really like the M16, but I have always liked the M16 in every game that it's been in. Unique to this game, I really like the Krig 6 and the Gallo. Those are probably my number tied for top 2. Or tied for top 2. Tied for number 1. If I had to pick a number 1, it'd probably be the Krig.
For me, yeah, I would also choose the Krig. The M16, it's great at distance, up close. Right now, although it is a 2-shot or 2-burst up close, if you miss a burst, you're out of the fight anyways. So to me, I would rather have an automatic weapon versus the 3-round burst in the M16. So I would much rather have the Krig 6 over the M16 when it comes to just up close battle. And since at distance you can control your fire better with a with an automatic, because you can shoot it without having to do the 3-round burst, I would also prefer the Krig over the M16 at distance as well. For me it's the Krig all day. Secondary weapon, obviously, I like the Gallo. The shotgun allows me to trigger finger as much as I want, so you can destroy through people.
Yeah, if you truly know how to use that gun, or honestly, you don't even need to know how to use the gun. If you're accurate enough, that gun can shred an entire squad. because you can get it up to 9 bullets. You can upgrade it up to 9 bullets. And those 9 bullets, it takes, in normal game mode, it takes 2 to 3 shots to kill someone with it.
I
At
usually
full
shoot.
health.
I usually shoot 4 or 5 just because of how fast I trigger finger.
Well, yeah. You shoot. Well, yeah, I do too. I just finally figured out that it takes 2 to 3 shots from chest up. If you hit their chest, it's normally about 3 shots. If you hit their head, it's 1 to 2.
Hardpoint is secure. We are taking control.
But sadly,
Enemy spy plane inbound.
the first guns that are most likely going to be nerfed is going to be the Gallo.
Hostile artillery target.
And I can honestly see
Artillery inbound.
one of the... Honestly, I can kind of see the snipers getting slightly nerfed.
I think just the Gallo will be nerfed. The only thing I see about snipers getting nerfed is maybe their aim down sights.
Yeah, and one thing they really... And once again, this is a beta. So, like, I'm going to pick at the small things, but at the same time, I know it's a beta, so they might already have it fixed. And they're just going to release it on the full game. But they really need to work on the iron sights. The iron sights are so... Like, they made it look realistic, and it looks... But they made it so realistic that there's like a shine and like a small little blur to it when you look down it. And I don't like the way it is.
Yeah, I completely agree. The iron sights for me, it's as if it takes up half your screen now. Aiming down sights with just the iron sights on, which in previous games it was just aimed in a little bit and you still had the rest of your screen to see.
Yeah, because I haven't checked any of the other guns with iron sight, but the M16, which everyone knows, the M16's iron sight on every other game is just amazing. Everyone loves it. This game ruined it. Like, out of all the amazing things they have in this game, that's the one thing that has ruined the iron sight for the gun. It's just, it's terrible. Because unless you know where you're shooting already, there is no aiming for distance. It takes over your entire line of sight.
True. Yeah, there's not much to say about the iron sight. It covers, it takes up more than it should, and it causes the iron sights are just not good in my opinion. At least not for the weapons I've used it with. The weapons I've used it with. I've used it on the M16. I've used it on the Milano, and I've used it on the Crit. And for all three of those weapons, I just don't like the iron sights on them. They just don't look good.
Yeah. And they have, the one thing I do like that they've changed from, and just a heads up for everyone, I'm going to compare this to Warzone a lot because they have carried a lot from Warzone previously. But they actually gave a meaning to the stim shots in this, so far at least.
Oh, for
While
sure.
in Warzone or Modern Warfare, whichever one you want to call it, stim shots were kind of pointless. There weren't really a lot of meaning for it because you healed back so fast. But now you heal back so slow that they actually give you a reason to want to use the stim shot. But with that, we have 4 tacticals so far. And that's stun grenades, stim shots, smoke grenades, and decoys. I've yet to see anyone use a decoy yet.
There's
Yes, there are decoy grenades.
Yeah,
That is, you have to be level 36, I think, for it. 37.
well, a lot of people we've seen have not even been level 30 yet.
Yeah.
What we see the most of tactically is either stim shots or flash grenades.
Yeah, I get stunned a lot. I saw someone use smoke the other day, which I was just shocked. I was like, whoa, I forgot there were smoke grenades.
Artillery targeting
With
detected.
lethal, we have 4 as well. We got your normal frags, you got some C4, you got some Molotovs, and you have Syntex. I think I've watched someone use a Molotov like twice.
I have
The
yet
most
to see anyone using Molotov.
I've seen someone use it and they threw it almost on top of me and it did no damage to me. So I don't know if they're broken or not, but
Enemy spy plane inbound.
they have kind of. I haven't used C4 yet, but just seeing other people use C4, I've noticed that there's a delay in the explosion, so it beeps 2 to 3 times before exploding.
Artillery.
So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing,
Hardpoint
because
located.
I've yet to use it.
Hardpoint locked down.
So I don't know if they're double tapping X for it and it does that, or if they press right bumper and it does that.
Does what?
The beeping, like the 2 to 3 seconds heads up of it getting ready to explode.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure which one. I haven't used C4 either yet.
But the most I've seen people use is frags and syntaxes.
Frags over Sims. Yeah, I've seen a lot.
Frags
of
over
frags.
syntax, but I saw a lot of syntax at the beginning just because that's what was in the pre-made loadouts. But they have, let's see, what's another? They got some field upgrades, which it is and isn't new. What they've done to it is new. Now they have proximity mines for a field upgrade. They have a field mic, which when you throw it down and someone walks by it, it will highlight them on your mini map, which I think is a cool and unique add-on to this. Each thing has its own recharge time as well, and I'll go over that after I name off the rest of these. We also have trophy system, which is the same thing. It blocks flash grenades, basically any lethals or tacticals. And I'm assuming it still blocks missiles. I'm not 100% sure.
It does not.
It does not block. Okay.
No, it does not
So
block
they're not
the artillery.
they're not as overpowered as they are on Modern Warfare. Then we have a SAM turret, which is a little tiny missile that you throw on the ground and it will lock on and launch at air score streaks and support helicopters. You have gas mine, which I've only seen one person use, and all I gotta say is it does a lot of damage to you. Then we have your jammer, which is kind of like a miniature counter UAV. And each one of these have their own unique recharge time. So proxy or proximity mines, they have a 2-minute recharge time. Field mics has 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Trophy system has a minute and 20. SAM turret has 3:45. Gas mine has 2. And a jammer has 2:30. Which honestly, I haven't really seen people use a lot of these. I've seen a lot of field mics and SAM turrets, and that's about it.
Yeah, I see SAM turrets, I see field mics, and I see
Proximity
mines,
mines,
and that's about it.
Mission clock is live.
Because the two that I mainly use is a proximity mines and SAM turret.
Yeah.
Which honestly, my favorite is probably the SAM turret.
I forgot what game the SAM turret's from, but it's
I
from
think it's
one of the
Blops
previous
3.
Blops 3.
It's either Blops 3 or I don't think it was on Blops 2. It might have been on Blops 2, but I don't think it was.
I thought it was from a Modern Warfare as well, like one of the older Modern Warfare.
It was, yeah, it would have been an old. I know it wasn't on Modern Warfare 3, so it's probably 2 or the 1. I can't say anything about Infinite or Advanced Warfare because I didn't really play multiplayer on that. Didn't really like it.
So it was originally in Black Ops.
The original Black. Okay.
Original Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3.
So it wasn't Modern Warfare. Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember it called a SAM turret
Yeah,
though.
it
Was it
called a
called
SAM
something
turret.
else?
It was
It
called a
was.
SAM turret. Yeah, so there's certain things they cannot change the name to, like the AK-47, and I'm pretty sure SAM turret's one of them.
It's been so long since I've played Modern Warfare 3 though.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite games, but that's for a different video, guys.
But then we'll go on and move on to the perks. We have 3 perk choices. For perk number 1, we have 4 options. Number 1 being engineer, which if you don't know what that is, you can see place items. So if someone has a proximity mine or a trophy system set down on the ground, you are able to see that through walls and or steps. Then we have paranoia, which is honestly one of my favorites now. Where if someone looks at you, you start hearing a ringing, and if you have headphones on, you'll have a ringing in the side of where you're being looked at. So if they're looking from your back right, you will hear a slight ringing, and it gets louder and louder the longer they look at you in your back right hearing it. Not only does it ring, it also lights up that area of view that you're being looked at on your screen, which I think is a really good add-on perk that they put into the game. You also have a tactical mask, which will reduce flashbangs and stun grenades, and you are immune to the gas. You also have a flak jacket, which everyone should know that it takes less damage from explosives and molotovs. And for perk number 2, you have 4 options as well. You got Scavenger, which you can pick up ammo from fallen players. You have Assassin, which I think is a cool, unique one. I can't remember if that was on any other Call of Duties.
Which one, Assassin?
Assassin. Enemies that appear on your minimap when shooting or revealed by a spy plane will have a crosshair indicator instead of a red dot if they are on a kill streak. You also receive extra points when you take them down.
So, Assassin has been on previous Call of Duties, but not with the same use as this one. That's the first time that it's been used in this way.
And I honestly like that it's used in this way.
In Modern Warfare 3, Assassin was similar to Ghost, so it just made you undetected to UAV and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. And I knew there was one in Blops 4, I think. It might have been Assassin. And it might have been the same thing as well. I think it might have had a crosshair. I can't remember. Because Black Ops 4 is the zombies that we played where it was like ancient times, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 4 had Assassin. I'm not gonna put money on it, but I think it did. But our third one we have is Tracker, which you can see your enemy's footsteps within a certain distance from when they first placed them. And then the last one you have is Quartermaster, which recharges your equipment over 25 seconds faster. And then we'll go on to perk number 3, which we have Gung Ho, which
Hostile spy plane
one
established
does that do
overhead.
again? Oh, fire your weapons and use equipment while sprinting. Move at all speed when reloading. Switch weapons faster, and you take less damage or fall damage, which I like. I mean, now that I have Ninja and Cold Blood, I would be using those more. But as a start, it's a really good starter one. Then you have Ghost, which you are undetected by UAVs when you are moving, which is a good little add-on again. What they've added back into it. You have Cold Blood, which you can't see from
Frag out.
any helicopters, and it looks they don't have thermal yet. But the way they're saying it, they're going to have thermal, because it says you'll show up cold on thermals. So I'm assuming that they're going to have thermals eventually. And then last but not least, you have Ninja, which you sprint more quickly, and you're resistant to field mics when sprinting. Speak only when necessary.
Artillery targeting detected.
And then we still have your wild cards, which there's only 4 so far. You got Danger Close, which gives you extra lethal and tacticals, both lethal and tacticals. You have Lawbreaker, which is like overkill. You can have another primary weapon. Then you have Gunfighter, which gives you 3 additional attachments.
Let the cowards
Your
run.
original
The thing is
attachments is
ours.
what, 5?
Yes.
And then you get up to 8. Yeah, I was shocked about that. I figured they would have just had it up to 7.
You can have, because there's 8 different attachment styles you can put on. So you can put barrel, scope, muzzle, magazine, grip. Dang it. What are the other 3?
There's barrel, there's I think with one of the snipers now you can change the way it looks as well. Like the body shape of the gun.
Yeah. So for at least for ARs, I know that there's 8 different attachment like menus that you can go into. That's why. So you with that perk you can have one of each attachment onto the gun.
So let me go into that real quick. Let's see, we have your optic, you have your muzzle, your barrel, the body of the gun, which is like your lasers, flashlights, and whatnot. You have your underbarrel, your magazine, your handle, or your grip, whichever one you want to call it, and your stock.
Yeah, so you can have one of each with that wild card on.
Which isn't bad at all. And then your last perk is greed, so you can get an extra perk if you would like.
I think those are pretty good. I haven't used any of them except for the very first one.
I haven't used any, but yeah, Danger Close, which I mean, I'll probably use more if they added more perks, or if I want to make like a stealthy class. But other than that, I really don't need extra perks. Another one that I might end up using is the extra attachments.
Other than the very first one, I might use the second one, the one that allows you to have multiple perks of the same class. So like, that would allow me to use Ghost, Cold Blood, and whichever one, I can't remember the name of it. The last perk in the third perk category.
Gung Ho, Ghost, Cold Blood, Ninja.
Yeah, Ninja. So I would have Ghost, Cold Blood, and Ninja on. Be as quiet as possible.
Hardpoint located.
Honestly, if you had Ghost, Cold Blood, Ninja on 3,
Hardpoint is secure.
then you put Tracker.
We
Well,
lost the
no,
hardpoint.
those would be.
Those would be your 3
Yeah,
perks.
if you use that wild card, those would be your 3 perks.
Hostile artillery targeting.
Oh, imagine if you could have those 3 along with Tracker and Paranoia.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost.
That would be a stacked perk.
Yeah, that would be sad.
Enemy RCXD.
And
But
that
that
is,
is everything from the classes.
yeah. Do you have any last minute thoughts about the game or beta so far?
Other than just honestly, no. Like,
You're letting them steal
I
our
was
victory.
really surprised on this beta for how good it was. There were not a lot of mistakes or mess ups. Like, just everything has ran smooth. All the guns are the guns that I have used so far are great. There's the snipers for me are kind of iffy. I don't know what they changed about it, but I just don't shoot as well on here with the snipers than I do on other Call of Duties. I don't know if it doesn't seem like there's a drop to the bullet.
And there might not be. I don't know. I haven't used the snipers. I've used one sniper and I've hit body shots every time.
Yeah, I'm so used to Modern Warfare where you need to calculate, oh, well, here's where he is, you need to get up a little bit higher, go to the left a little bit. And I'm so used to that, while I'll do that on here and I miss the dude completely.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Okay, guys, if you all enjoyed our breakdown of the beta, let us know down in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel. It means a whole lot. With 100 subscribers coming very soon, we'll end up having a special video out for that eventually at some point, whenever we can actually have time to meet up and do that video. And if y'all enjoyed, thank you again, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Like,